How's it going, everyone? And welcome to CyberDemon Gaming. My name is Matt, and if you can see in front of you and you're kind of confused to what this is, you have not been following my streams over the last couple times, but that's fine. This is Magic the Gathering Arena. It is a free-to-play Magic the Gathering game, which, yes, you can purchase things, but you don't have to. And it's the collectible card game. Now, I have to say collectible card game, not tradable card game, because you can't do any trading in this game. But for those of you who do watch Magic the Gathering and play Magic the Gathering, you know what it is. So I have a deck here that is based around a certain spell, and I want to show it to you. And we're gonna play some games, and we're gonna see if anything. It's all one round, so it's not anything. It's not anything big or impressive. But it's called Dance of the Manse. Now, I'll get to what that is in a second, so we'll go over these real quickly and show you exactly what this deck is, and then we'll get into some games. So the first card we have here, which we have two of them, is the Birth of Meletis. Now this is standard legal, going all the way into Theros Beyond Death. So this is Birth of Meletis. This is a saga, of course. It's an enchantment. And the first round, when it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library for a basic Plains card, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Now, I don't necessarily have to do the shuffling of the library. The game does that for me. Sometimes not for the best reaction, but this is a good way to kind of fix your mana that you need, or get additional mana out. Now, we only have 3 Plains, but so we can only do this 3 times. But we only have 2 of them, so no worries there, right? Round 2 that it's out, you get to create a 0/4 colorless wall that is an artifact creature token with Defender. Now this does help for aggro decks. It's a 0/4, it's hard for them to get by. It also gives you a creature, and it gives you some defense for some of the planeswalkers that you're going to be playing. And then the third turn that it's out, you get to gain 2 life. So this is a really good card to get out turn 2 if you can, especially against aggro decks. And it does really help when things really start to get going. Now, again, from Theros Beyond Death, we have Omen of the Sea. It's 1 blue, 1 colorless, and it has flash. This is an enchantment. And what's great about this card is when it enters the battlefield, you get to scry 2. Now, scrying is you get to look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back on top or bottom of your library in any order. And then after you do that, you get to draw a card. Now, we run 4 of these. And so we can do some fixing, we can do some scrying, we can run through some things, and you can play them at the end of your opponent's turn, so you get to draw an extra card. Also, if you get a chance, you can sacrifice Omen of the Sea and scry 2. That helps. We run 1 Dovin's Veto, and that is a counter spell. It can't be countered, and you counter a target non-creature spell. This is for any board wipes, this is for any planeswalkers, enchantments, or anything like that. We run 4 Golden Eggs, cost 2 colorless. When they enter the battlefield, you're basically using it for the enter the battlefield ability and the gaining of life. So when it comes into the battlefield, you get to draw a card. And then you tap 2 colorless and you sacrifice Golden Egg and you gain 3 life. Now, why is this important? I'll get to that in just a second. We run 4 of those. Then we have 2 Guild Globes, 2 colorless. When they enter the battlefield, you get to draw a card. And if you tap 2 colorless and you sacrifice it, you got 2 mana of different colors, which does help mana fixing, being able to do things like that. So it's fun. Now, why do we care about sacrificing these cards? Very simple. Dance of the Manse, what the deck is based off of. Dance of the Manse is very simple. It's 1 blue, 1 white, and X, and it is a sorcery. And return up to X target artifact and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost of X or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but if you noticed, all of the enchantments so far and the artifacts so far that I've pointed out have entered the battlefield ability. So they enter the battlefield again, and Bob's your uncle. You get those things to happen again. Now, here's the bonus of Dance of the Manse. If X is 6 or more, so that means tapping 8 mana total, those permanents are also 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. Now we only run 2 of these, and it is kind of the win condition of this deck. Now there are others, but this is kind of the win condition of the deck. Now, when this goes off, usually it's game over. They will scoop, because you're bringing out 6 things that have enter the battlefield abilities and do things. We have 1 Murderous Rider, and that's to target a creature or a planeswalker that's really giving us those problems, and then we have a 2/3 lifelinker when we bring him out. We run 4 Teferi Time Ravelers, which of course forces people not to be able to cast instants, so that counters all of those nice instant speed counter spells and things like that. You can +1 him to have you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, which is really nice for doing Dance of the Manse at the end of their turn. Or you can -3, return a target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, and then draw a card. Now, how do we protect these planeswalkers? Well, I already showed you with the Birth of Meletis, you get a 0/4 wall, but there's also Oath of Kaya, which we run 3 of. 1 black, 1 white, 1 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, you get to target any target, that means a planeswalker, a creature, player, whatever, deals 3 damage to them, to whatever it is, and you gain 3 life. So that does help against aggro decks who have hit you for 2 turns straight with aggro creatures who have haste and things like that. And then for the planeswalkers, it has a little bonus. So when it's out, if an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. So I have played games where they're at 1 and they cannot attack my planeswalker, and they desperately want to, but they can't because it'll kill them. We run 3 of those. Now with 3 of those, you want to play them, if you have Dance of the Manse in your hand, you want to play them because it has an Enter the Battlefield ability. Well, what's nice is all 3 of them trigger. 1, 2, 3. You get to do all 3, get to deal 9 damage and gain 9 life. It's really nice. Now, how do we get some of these artifacts and enchantments into our graveyard? Very simple. A busted ass card named Doom Foretold. It's 1 black, 1 white, 2 colorless. This is turn 4. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, lose 2 life, you get to then draw a card, you gain 2 life, and gain a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance, and then you sacrifice Doom Foretold. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of fucking text on 1 card. So basically you play this on turn 4, and and they have to start sacrificing things. So if they have 1 creature out, 1 planeswalker out, well, on their turn they don't get to do anything. They just got to get rid of it. Now we run 4 of those, and they're very, very powerful. We also, to protect ourselves, run 4 Kaya's Wraths. Now Kaya's Wraths are simple: 2 black, 2 white. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you controlled that were destroyed this way. So you do get a chance to kind of gain some life. 4 of those, and we decide we're gonna take things out. Now we get 1, count them, 1 Elspeth Conquers Death. This is also an enchantment saga. Exile target permanent an opponent controls with a converted mana cost of 3 or greater. Turn 2 that it's out, non-creature spells your opponents cast cost 2 colorless more to cast until your next turn. And then for the 3rd turn that it's out, say you lost a Teferi, say you lost a Murderous Rider, say you lost Ashiok or something. Well, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield and put a +1/+1 counter or loyalty counter on it. Most of the time you want to get rid of this. If you're going against this, you want to get rid of it before it gets to turn 3. Now we only run 1 of those, so we want to kind of use it sparingly. And then we run 1 of Ashiok, Nightmare Muse, one of my favorite planeswalkers. His +1 is create a 2/3 blue and black nightmare creature token with, whenever this creature attacks or blocks, each opponent exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Get enough of these little dudes out and they're starting to get rid of 2, 4, 8 cards at a time. Or they make really great blockers because the effect still happens when they block, and they're a 2/3. Now the downside is, of course, they have no mana cost, they have low power, so things like Tyrant's Scorn gets rid of them. Things like Ritual of Soot, that gets rid of it. His -3, kind of like Teferi's, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then that player exiles a card from their hand. Now this may not sound like a great thing to get -3, but he starts with 5 counters, so it puts him at 2, it's not bad. It's the exiling. So, say it's late in the game, you get him down, they have no cards in their hand, and there's that one creature that's pissing you off. Well, you can bounce him. And as soon as he's bounced, they can't cast him again because he gets exiled from their hand. It's really nice. Always fun to bring him back with Elspeth Conquers Death. Now the next one is also a one of, and that's Thought Distortion. Now this is really good against late game control decks that don't really run any creatures. It's not very good against aggro decks. It's also very late game for aggro decks, so it's not the big of a deal, but it's Thought Distortion. And this spell cannot be countered, so it's good to just throw out there if you can. Control decks can't counter it. Target opponent reveals their hand, and then exile all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. So that means all of their counter spells, all of their enchantments, all of their planeswalkers that are in their hand and in their graveyard, things like that, just go away. So we run a one of those, and I've used it a couple of times in a positive light, but I can't say that it doesn't not happen to where you're stuck with that card in your hand and there's not much you can do with it. And then another one of, which tends to be kind of another game ender because of how powerful this card is Kiora Bests the Sea God. Another enchantment, which is a saga. This costs 7, it's 2 blue, 5 colorless, it's very late game, but you get to create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token with hexproof. Now if you're going up against a mono black deck, or you're going up against a red deck, or you're going up against a white blue deck, this creature is going to stay out long time because they can't target it with anything because it's got hexproof. So on the second turn that it's out, you get to tap all non-land permanents target opponent controls. They do not untap during their controller's next untap step, which means that your 8/8 gets a free swing in, and you get to slam in with 8 damage and not have to worry about the kickback from it because they don't untap. And then for the third and final round that it's out, you get to gain control of target permanent an opponent controls, and you untap it. Now that means a planeswalker, that means land, that means an enchantment, that means a creature. Pretty much anything that stays out on the battlefield, you get to get control of it. Even if you don't need it. Say there's an enchantment that's not doing anything to you, but it's helping them. Well, if Kiora Bests the Sea God stays out, yeah, you get to kind of take it from them. There's not much they can do about it. Now, our land, there's a lot of mana fixing in this. So we got 3 planes, 1 Castle Vantress, so we can scry later in the game, 2 islands, and I got the pretty islands. I'm working on getting some of the other pretty ones. We got 1 Castle Lockwing, and that's if you need to draw cards, 3 Swamp, 4 Hollowed Fountain, 4 Godless Shrine, 2 Temple of Silence, 4 Watery Grave, and 1 Fabled Passage. Now, like I said, this is only a single round game deck. It's very successful, and it's actually really cool. There's a lot of working parts for it. So having something like this is definitely a control-based deck. It's a slow burn, not really aggressive. The only thing you're really aggressive about are playing your Golden Eggs, your Guild Globe, your Omen of the Sea, and trying to basically wait until you can drop that Kiora Best the Sea God because of Dance of the Manse or something like that. So that's the Dance of the Manse is the reason this game wins. A lot of the times you can use Ashiok's ultimate, which I did not talk about. My apologies. I'll point that out real quick. If you can get Ashiok up to over 7, you may cast up to 3 face-up cards your opponents own from exile without paying their mana cost. Now, I don't know what face-up means. I guess it's the ones that you have exiled, not necessarily they have exiled, but it does work that way too. So you can take their things if it gets to that point. It's got multiple win conditions, but the main one, of course, is Dance of the Manse. Now, what's really great is if you can get Dance of the Manse, and you got Kiora, Best the Sea God in your graveyard, and you cast Dance of the Manse for 7, you can bring that back out. You can bring out Elspeth Conquers Death. You can bring out Doom Foretold. You can do a lot of things. So this deck actually has a lot of power behind it. It's more of a mid-range kind of deck. Not necessarily something that's going to happen right away, but it's very good on defending itself, and it's very good on setting up that attack that you need to do. So I'm going to stop talking about this, and we're going to get into some games here, and I guess we're just going to see how things go. Alright, we have our first combatant, Hoekster. And well, we have a Guild Globe, we have Castle Lochwain. We do have a lot of Oath of Kai's. This is okay. This is not necessarily a bad hand. We do go first, so hopefully we can get one more mana and we should be good. So we're gonna keep this. We got our little dude here. We're gonna change him to black because he looks awesome in black. And we're gonna go ahead and say hello. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna see if they say hello back. They've mulliganed once already. And they're keeping. So we're going to start with Watery Grave. Just go from there. Okay, so we did get another land. It's not a white land, which is what we're hoping for. But we'll see how things go. May actually do this to get the white land, so it's not a bad thing. Gateway Plaza? What the fuck? Okay, so yes, we are going to do this. We are going to get our white land. We're going to play our white land. Are we playing a gate deck? What the fuck? Doesn't look like it yet. Oh, it's just add one mana of any color. Wishing Well. Not seeing what kind of deck this is yet. Oh, and we get that. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna throw our golden egg out there. Draw a card, and that's good. We can hope they tap out. This is 1, 2, 3. This is white, red, black, and blue. Is this a 5-color deck? Alright. So we're gonna... They are waiting. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bait out this. And we're just gonna say go. Because I don't know, they have a counterspell, they got something. They're waiting for something. Alright. What would be nice is if we got one more land. We play Teferi and then Doom Foretold. Okay, not worried about the counterspell. I don't think they're playing a Manse deck. A 4-color Manse deck? Aha! Here we go. Okay, so we're going to pay the 2 life. Play Teferi. We're going to go ahead and bounce one of those. Draw a card. And then drop. So Doom Foretold is going to be next. You're gonna get rid of my. You're gonna get rid of my wall? Okay, that's fine. You go ahead and get rid of that wall. I would like one more land. One more land would be good. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna +1.
This might be a bad idea.
Doom foretold. Get rid of the Oath of Kaya. And alright, so they got a sacrifice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more land. Cure Best the Sea God is coming out next, though. Oh, nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this. You got a board wipe? Ah, I get to draw a card. Okay. What do I have in here? I don't have... Okay, so Cure Best the Sea God.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Alright, so we're gonna hold off. Yeah.
Let's slow this down.
You're gonna bounce my Kiora. Oh, or not.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Nice, very nice. It's not gonna be fun times for you though. Because you know what I'm casting. You have to, you can't not know what I'm casting. We're gonna keep mine.
I've got it.
So we're going to see what happens. Yeah. 4, 5, 6. I'm really curious about what this deck is. So let's go ahead. We do want one more land. I will take Ashiok though. I'll take another dance just in case. And we're gonna get rid of one of these. You know what? We're gonna get rid of 2. Aha! Alright. So, we're going to add a blue. We're going to activate ability, and we're going to scry. We don't want... but we do want that. Alright. So, like I said, this deck has a lot of different ways it can win. Now, we have enough to do Dance with the Manse and things like that. I didn't want the Scry land. The Elspeth would be better, so we're going to get rid of Omen of the Sea. And then next turn... because I don't know what they're going to do. This is a... there it is! That's what I'm waiting for. Okay, so we have it now. It's a multicolored deck. It's probably a Cavalier deck.
You show remorse.
What are you bouncing? Okay, you're gonna get rid of that. That's fine. So, they can't do counter spells. So... yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to bounce that. Okay, so he's got to exile.
I can no longer stand by and watch. I've got time.
Draw a card. Hey, there's that land. So I think we got one more white land in there. But we're gonna go ahead and grab a pretty blue one. So, what is he gonna do? He's gonna cast Fires of Invention again. But I don't know what exactly he's going to do. Because if he can't get rid of Elspeth Conquers Death, I'm gonna bring back Teferi. Ah. I put Teferi back in his hand, or back in the library. Alright. So he's gonna have one, we're gonna keep him.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Alright. We have it set up. This is not going to be a good day for him. Okay, who's he attacking? Going after Ashiok. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it all of them? Yeah. And then we'll go with 7. Auto pay. You can't counter it. we're gonna keep that one. Lots of things happen. So we will draw that card. Now he better hope that he has a board wipe. Because if he doesn't have a board wipe, this game is over. I'm assuming he has a board wipe. He's got the mana to do it. What sucks for him is, well, I have another Dance of the Manse, and I'll just do this all over again. I think we're gonna see a scoop here in a second. You gotta use your board wipe, man. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's just now, usually those Fires of Invention decks are actually pretty tough to deal with once they get them out, but it's very easy. Hey, it's very easy to have things happen with a Dance of the Manse deck because of what it does. Alright, Toffler. Let's see what you got. I don't know who you are, but I go first. Let's see, we got Birth of Meletis, Golden Egg. Golden Egg, we can do the Birth of Meletis, so we're going to keep this. We have a couple of our engines already started. We'll have enough mana to do Doom Foretold on turn 4, which we're gonna need. Alright. That's interesting. So, we are gonna have that for white. Why did he have it come in untapped? I don't know. Oh, he's going to do something at the end of the turn. It's going to... Yeah. There we go. He wanted to do 2 damage. So this is a red-green aggro deck. Yay. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all this. We're not going to deal with any of that because he has an Embercleave in his hand. Because they always have an Embercleave in their hand. Ooh, Gruul Spellbreaker. Gonna be bad times for them because of what I'm dropping next. So I'll take the... Yay, I'll take that. Gain 2 life back. So we're gonna go ahead and because we're dropping the Doom Foretold. And we're gonna get rid of that Gruul Spellbreaker. Now I might have possibly done the Doom Foretold a little soon. But it was enough to get rid of that, and Teferi, believe it or not, will take care of anything. Come on. There we go. Oh, another one. So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to draw a card. It's a Guild Globe. You know what it does. Which is another Doom Foretold. We're going to play Teferi. Now, we're not going to minus Teferi. Because it'd be pointless to minus Teferi. Unless they're playing something that they're playing Flash. Ah, there we go.
I know.
So we're going to plus Teferi.
Let's try this.
Now they can't do any fun... well... Okay, so let's go ahead and scry here. Thought no, we don't need the thought distortion. It would be nice. I'm gonna plus Teferi again.
Don't worry, I got this.
Their Bone Crusher Giant goes away. We're just gonna see how things go. Not bad. That was a 6/6. I take one. Oh no. We're gonna get rid of the Guild Globe. See, now it's starting to get a little ridiculous with the mana.
Right on schedule. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Yeesh. Okay, so he's going to choose haste. He's going to get rid of Teferi. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. Take some damage. That helps. I honestly am getting a little tired of the mana flood. So we're gonna actually hold off and we're gonna do some scrying here, get some land out of the way, hopefully. Because we're gonna need it. Gave it haste, so we're gonna scry. Don't need that. I'm gonna take 4. Yeesh. Oh, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6. I think I just so 1, 2, 3, 4. We only got 5. That's fine. We're gonna gain some life here too. They have to discard. I think I might have just pulled it out of my ass. Maybe. They can't do 11 to me. Yeah, there we go. Dance of the Manse! It's a thing! That is all the time I have. Ladies and germs, This has been CyberDemon Gaming. My name is Matt, and this has been MTG Arena. I will be playing more of this. I am enjoying it once again. I will be doing other stuff, so stay tuned. If you like this content, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Spread us around, and hopefully we can get those numbers up. I do normally stream every Saturday night at about 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I hope to see you there. And I also hope to see you in the next video.